Welcome. I'm Halcyon and this is Hug Nation. Today we're going to talk about the Burning Man 2019 theme, Metamorphosis. I love this because there is metamorphosizing in so many realms. There is the physical metamorphosizing, is that a word? Of matter, when in the building of things, in the creation of art. And in so much of the art that we see there, it's a metamorphosis of something that used to be something else. Panels from old cars get turned into a polar bear. The stuff of the world goes through a metamorphosis and becomes art at Burning Man. So I love that aspect. There's also the metamorphosis of the self. And then you have the transformation of the community as we take that new personal identity into the world. And then it's the world. So the metamorphosis is this fractal experience that Burning Man kicks into motion. One of the huge criticisms that Burning Man gets is that it is so much energy and so much resources is put into this temporary experience. It's transitory. You build a house, a month later, there's not that house anymore. And how much better, some people have argued, it would be if we put that energy towards things that could, be sustainable. Instead of building a shade structure and then taking it down, build a shade structure and then add to it and then add to it and then add to it and make a temporary city or a permanent city, which is one of the discussions going on with the use of Fly Ranch. While I hear that argument about this waste of energy, the reason why I disagree is because of metamorphosis, because of what happens when individuals go through a change. A dramatic change in their identity and the way they make choices and the way they see the world. And so when someone leaves Burning Man with no longer a cocoon, but now a butterfly, no longer a base metal, but now gold, then the way that they do the things in their world, the way that they make choices and build relationships and create companies retains the energy and the values of that metamorphosis, of that transformation. And I've seen that in so many ways in the world and in my life. That metamorphosis from the thing that you were born and created by your culture to then go through your metamorphosis to letting your truth out. Amazing. It's the only thing that really matters. It's why we're here. The human experience is about metamorphosis. It's about the learning, the growth, the sometimes very difficult, the breaking down of the old and the birth of the new to evolve. My argument against that it's a waste of energy is that there's so many ways that I have taken that energy into the default world. I run a homeless outreach called First Saturdays, which is inspired by gifting. It is the way that I can do gifting every month for now 9 years by gifting extra clothes and toiletries and food to people that don't have any. So that is a ripple from the metamorphosis. My last real job was as chief wisdom officer for a startup, helping them build their culture and integrating gratitude, gifting, things that I learned at Burning Man into this corporate culture, to huge success with their productivity and the camaraderie within the office. And more recently, I'm now doing coaching and trying to help people take these metamorphosis experiences and make sure that they do not stagnate. And recognizing how when you go through that identity shift from the what am I supposed to do to what am I driven to do, what am I being pulled to do, then when you act from that place, you, in every action and breath and word, you are making the world a better place. You are helping heal the world. That shift from figuring out what your goal is and then making it happen, instead figuring out who you are and allowing that to happen. And I believe that is the core gift of Burning Man, is the metamorphosis when we go from being what the other has told us to be to allowing ourselves to be. Burning Man is sometimes called a permission engine. That is one of the huge ways that I think Burning Man helps us to go through metamorphosis. giving us permission to do what we want, to express how we want, to dress how we want, to speak how we want, to relate how we want. And when we go into what we want, granted, some people, what they want to do is hit each other with bats or do combat sports or hang from hooks. Awesome. But a lot of times the going through that shift to what is giving permission to do what you want gets you to the place of, I want to be more of service. I want to gift my gifts as I discover what they are. I want to connect deeper with people. I want to look past these measuring sticks that I've been given in the world of success to the things that I discover at the Burn are what truly lights me up and makes me happy. Connection, expression, dare I say, love, creativity, the big things. That's one of the ways that we go through metamorphosis at Burning Man. Another is the mere introduction of gifting and having an experience that is non-transactional. When all we've experienced our entire life is a transactional world, getting to have a non-transactional playground, that is, the impetus for us to go through a liquefying of the old and a rebirthing of the new, because you just start to feel people in a different way. You put down the barriers that you keep up because you're trying to protect yourself from the onslaught of marketing, and suddenly you hear people and you speak differently and you hear differently and you feel that connection. That is a metamorphosis. The other way is that as we start to identify as being an artist, in whatever expression that is, the cultural definition of an artist as someone who is a professional singer, writer, sculptor, to the Burning Man definition of an artist, which is every human being who is creative, which is every human being, and simply given permission to be that, you can then actively be the protagonist in this amazing unfolding of the world as an artist, as a creative participant in the world. And then when you attach that to gifting, then you find your gifts and you seek to share them with the world, and suddenly the whole purpose of your life changes. Metamorphosis! So thanks for being a part of this cocoon stage. May we all spread our wings, fly together, and comfort each other when being a caterpillar feels just too tough. Metamorphosis! I will see you at home. Thank you. I love you. Another reason why the metamorphosis theme I love so much is because, well, one, I loved it the first time it happened in 2011 when it was Rites of Passage, or the way that I interpreted Rites of Passage with a whole bunch of imagery and stuff about butterflies, and actually did a performance on Playa called Cocoon that was a synchronized dance sexual ritual that I adapted from a children's book and used dubstep and did costuming and had a cast of dancers and fire performers and erotic aids. And it was the most bold thing I've ever done on Playa or in the world. And the other reason why the cocoon and is such a big thing is because my grandpa talked about metamorphosis all the time.
I am in my cocoon, and I remember as a boy reaching up and taking hold of a little old brown shell and opening it, and there was the possible butterfly. And that's where I am. I'm now waiting for this shell to be opened, and I'll be a butterfly. You change form, you change dimensions, and that's what death is. It's just like birth.
And he referred to his room at this retirement village as his cocoon. And he would frequently and joyfully talk about his upcoming transition. And the idea that coming into this human experience is a metamorphosis from something else, and leaving the human experience is a metamorphosis into something else, is something that my grandpa talked about, and something that I embrace as part of the unknown boundaries on the human experience are not vacuums on either side of birth and death, but are transitions, are metamorphosis. I think the idea of metamorphosis as the entry and exit of the experience we're having now, and the experience we're having now being filled with a whole narrative of metamorphosis as we grow and learn, couldn't think of a better theme.